Andrew, when I look at your eyes and I see you in different things, or even when you walked in here, you have a look. Your eyes have a look, and there's rage behind it. Okay, that's the look you have. Why do you have that look?
Rage?
Yeah, you have rage. There is a certain look where it looks you're skeptical always, and you have rage and a look that you trust nobody.
This conversation starts with something simple, not politics, not ideology, but what it costs to actually show up in public, take hits, and keep going while everyone else critiques from the sidelines. Watch how this turns into a conversation about trust, critics, and why the loudest voices are rarely the ones doing the work.
Well, maybe to an extent. In this industry, you can't trust anybody. You probably know that well. I've noted that there have been many hit pieces on you. The more famous, and the more famous you get, the more there'll be. Same here. I have tons and tons on me as well. And one of the few people in this industry that I do trust, you probably know Steven Crowder, right? I saw what these people did to him. I saw what they did to him, and I saw what the people who were supposedly on my side did to him. I call them the Sewing Circle Christians. And these people do basically keep me in a continuous state of rage. And the reason why is this. It's like, I'm sure you've heard the Teddy Roosevelt, the man in the arena speech, right? That's what a guy like Crowder was and is, the man in the arena. Just everybody's a critic.
This is the part that people miss. The internet makes criticism cheap and participation expensive. It's easy to judge someone once the clip is circulated everywhere. It's a lot harder to be the person actually in the arena, taking a reputational risk, knowing every mistake will be amplified.
And I remember when that video came out, that they spread it everywhere. His political enemies, his bitch ex-wife, all of them just spread it everywhere, right? He's an abuser. He's a this. He's a that. And I'm like, I remember watching that video and thinking, that ain't even that bad. That ain't even that bad.
In the backyard of the house.
Yeah, I was like, man, I've been in worse fights than that with my old lady. What are you talking about, right?
I actually agree.
Yeah, I was like, I've been in worse fights than that with my old lady over way less. Over way more petty stuff. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it's like, and the thing is, it's like all these holier than thou people.
This guy, this clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've all seen this.
Yeah. And it's all these holier than thou Sewing Circle Christians are like, how could you endorse an abuser? How could you defend an abuser? How could you do this? And I'm thinking, shut up, you lying snake. Like, there's no way you're going to convince me that in the course of your relationship of 20 years, that if we had cameras on you at all times, we're not going to find this moment times 20. It's going to happen. Just shut up.
100%.
Yeah, just shut up. Stop bullshitting me. You know what I mean? But the thing is a lot of those people who are the critics, let's say in your case, my case, Crowder's case, many others, a lot of that, I think, comes from a position of jealousy. And it comes from a position of envy. And because of that, these people, all they do is criticize. But my challenge has always been to the Sewing Circle Christians, well, where are you? Like, I'm on the other end of the most diabolical people daily. I'm in the most hostile environments, the most hostile panels, right? I'm always completely surrounded. I've never seen any of you. Where the hell are you?
This is the real challenge being raised here. Not about sides, not about presence. If you believe you have a better approach, a better tone, and a better strategy, then show up. Otherwise, criticism without participation is just noise.
Well, you're siding with our enemies because I'm too mean, or Crowder's too mean, or anybody who defends themselves is too mean. Why don't you show us how it's done? And they're nowhere. They're nowhere. In many ways, I respect leftists who will engage on their ideology, right, and engage on the arguments much more than I respect my own side of of which has many of these Sewing Circle Christians who refuse to engage, but instead just want to virtue signal to the audience. No, I'm a real Christian. You would never hear me say something so nasty and evil to a diabolical person who just told me they killed 3 of their kids in the womb, And I'm like, what? I'm supposed to sit there and go, oh, well, okay, then let me pat you on the head and read gospel. That doesn't work. You have to destroy worldviews before you can replace worldviews.
Yeah, Stephen called me the day this was released. It could have been the day or the next day. And he says, hey, I just want to tell you, here's what's going to release, was already released. This is what really happened. I'm listening to him for 45 minutes. And the call-in's like this. I said, Stephen, you will never hear me comment on this. I said, we're not commenting on this kind of stuff. And Rob and I talked about it. Rob, if you remember, we're doing podcast prep. I'm like, this is really not a topic I want to talk about. Marriage is hard. People got to figure it out. Of course, if it's like, someone shot and killed or something like that, okay, we have to comment on that. But an argument like this, let them handle it the way they did. I thought it got out of control, and it wasn't it became too much of a thing, because it was around the same time that he was negotiating the contract with, what do you call it, with Daily Wire, right?
Yep.
And where he came out and he read the contract and what they offered him and all this stuff, that we commented on. And I said, look, when you do something like that, I would be hesitant to ever making an offer to you. Because then it's kind of like, are you going to go share my contract with them publicly? But Crowder, to me, he's a guy that...
Yeah, well, Jeremy Boring and those people at Daily Wire shouldn't have been trying to negotiate with his ex-wife on the side.
We
Yeah.
we reacted to that God knows how many times. And then, trust me, I don't think anybody in the market would say, we are best friends with Jeremy Boring and Ben Shapiro, and Ben Shapiro loves us. And it's like, no, I've been on his show. He's been on my show.
Yeah.
We invited him. He's canceled a couple times. Jeremy Boring's been on. We've had good conversations. Actually, Jeremy Boring, we had a very good conversation together. But I don't know, when the whole Candace thing that was taking place, everybody thought Candace is automatically going to come here. They blamed us for, this is what's going on. No, I'm on the phones. I'll help you.
If you value long-form conversation that actually digs into how media power and incentives really works, subscribe. Straight fire politics, no theatrics, just conversation.